Is guacamole a fruit salad?
What is the best milkshake for bringing boys to the yard?
Ostriches are dinosaurs.
Don't piss off old people. New game.
What do you mean it gives you Arby's mouth?
Artisanal muck duck balls.
I think they call that autofellatio.
I want to high five a shark.
Welcome to Bar Banter. Relax, have a drink with us as we debate the most controversial topics in the world today.
You guys want to see a
On
picture?
today's podcast,
Wait, hold on.
what is one thing that everyone can agree on?
A little
The
up,
ring,
a little up.
light, the ring
Yeah,
light.
the ring light. Yeah.
Okay.
Blown out.
Okay.
Can you like
There's
darkness?
no mouth, but that's
Wait,
fine.
is that a pixie cut?
She does not have that anymore. Oh, that's-
I was about to say I love like the short
There
hair.
it is. Okay, very cute.
Nice, perfect,
Very cute.
adorable.
Anyway, we're gonna try something called one-word topics. Not sure how that's gonna go.
You guys want to see
And-
another picture?
And lastly,
Yeah.
lastly,
Yeah.
is it just you naked?
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
Drew in a bow tie.
We're gonna fill out our Bar Banter
Where's
cabinet
the bow tie?
positions.
Just me taking my pants
Oh,
Ooh,
Is this
Pause recording.
But first, Benjamin Trimmer, what are you drinking?
Well, I did dry January.
Ooh.
It's the end of January, but so I'm breaking it tonight. But I did have didn't have much in the house, so I'm drinking an Ancient Peaks Cab because that's all
You
I have in
made
the
it
house is a few bottles
29
of wine.
days. That's close enough.
I made
Actually,
it
I made like
11, Ben,
24,
so
but-
good for you.
That's close. Yeah,
I'll start back tomorrow and I'll go to the Super Bowl and it'll be 30 total days. So
that's a plan.
But,
I like that.
yeah. Richard Madison, what are you drinking?
No. I'm drinking my Long Island tonight because what is life? What is pain?
Mm.
I don't know. I got nothing. I cut my finger opening fish, and I'm a little bitter about it. Who hasn't gone yet? Who am I picking? Am I Danny, or am I asking you, Danny? Did I? No, I'm not. Travis, did we talk to Drew? Did Drew go?
We didn't go Drew yet.
Drew, what are you drinking?
There's
Hey-o.
4 of us. I'm always last.
I'm drinking a little tequila and Topo Chico,
I thought that was water for a minute. I was about to
As
be like,
is-
what is happening?
as is tradition. Yeah.
Dry
Trying to keep
January.
As
Yeah.
is tradition.
As is tradition. Travis, what are you drinking?
I got a bottle of Old Forester for the holidays, and so I'm nipping at that. It's 100 proof. I didn't realize that, and I'm already like 3 glasses deep. So tomorrow's gonna be fun.
Speaking of deep, I have a question. Did we finish our and by ours I mean your somebody help me out.
No,
Our picky whiskey thing?
no, we
Okay.
still have some.
All right.
Do you want me to get it? I wasn't gonna do it tonight, but I can get it.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, I just
wanted
we
to make
did it
sure
on-
that
yeah.
that hasn't ended.
No, has not ended. But what we can agree on
No.
is that it's a great little shtick that we do. Can everyone agree on that? Right?
I don't know. I feel like it's a trap.
Definitely.
It's a trap.
Detroit.
It's a trap.
Because let's be honest. Everyone
Let's be
can
honest.
agree.
I'll agree it's a trap.
Let's be
Let's be
honest.
Let's be
honest.
honest. Everyone can agree
Yeah.
that my segues are fire.
That is not
No.
true.
Everyone can
no.
agree that my segues
Everyone who is Travis
Should be set on
fire.
fire. Yeah.
can
Yes.
agree-
No,
can
there it
agree.
is. There it is.
as a tribute
I
to
wanna get you
how
a segue book.
you have
Ooh, could you imagine what that would be like?
you have
I
got
know.
me
I got you the I got
the
you
segue
man-
manual.
the manual on segues.
Yeah, I still haven't read it. I need to.
About
Gentlemen,
segue.
our first topic tonight is what's the one thing that everyone can agree on, and this I think could be really fun because there's going to be things that I think most people agree on, but we're going to try to nitpick and be like, hold on, I don't think that these people would necessarily agree to that. So, with that said, who has thoughts on things that are agreeable? That are
Agreeable?
Yeah, agreeable, agreeable.
I have a few thoughts.
Okay,
I'm going to start with the less obvious one, and I don't even know if I'll make it past U5 with this statement, but I think it's safe, as y'all are aware, I'm a big wings fan.
Yes.
Joy, good
Red
wings.
Wings, Detroit.
Yes, of course, hockey, go sports.
A.
A now, not everyone will always order sides when you get wings. Sometimes you just want the wings.
Sure.
But I think it is safe to say that if one were to order sides, there is usually two choices. You either get fries or you get tots. Is usually a choice.
Yes.
Now, of those two, I think a large portion would go fries over tots. This is not my final vote, but I think we can all agree that there is nothing more disappointing than getting a side of fries, the fries being bad, and seeing the tots. And you're like, yeah, those are some good tots. I should have gotten the tots over fries. I think there's nothing more disappointing in life than that moment.
Hot regret.
So
Yes.
like almost like buyer's remorse.
Kind of,
a little
kind of.
or a little bit of FOMO.
I think it's
side FOMO.
I think I would go more remorse over FOMO,
Okay.
but a general idea, because in your mind you're thinking, we've had this conversation before, the best. Like when we argue what is the best, you have a certain expectation,
right?
Or we're thinking generally when I order, I can't remember what topics we've done, but like a breakfast sandwich, like the best version of breakfast sandwich is better than the best version of this,
right?
And I think when you order, that is the mindset, especially like if it's at a new spot, like if it's at a spot you already know, you've already had the failure, and you know what to order, because you'll be like, hey bro, I know you're a fries guy, but like here, you got to go the tots. There's the reasonable person standard is to give that warning. But if it's a new spot and you're like, yep, I'm thinking good wings, good fries, let me get that. And then it comes out and it's bad wings. And then you look around and you see tots. You're like, damn it.
I like the wisdom here because I would say in the past, definitely, if someone tells me this place has the best fries, I'm like, oh, okay, fries, But if someone tells me this place has the best tots, I'm immediately so much more intrigued.
That also
So,
tells me everything I need to know about the fries.
Oh yeah.
Like if you mention, I think it's like tots are great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to hate on tots, but it's never my first choice unless it's like a specific, like a tots nacho situation, or something like that. Like the item is tots, and it's like, hey, get it, it's good.
Right.
My thought is, if I'm thinking the lowest of the low for both categories,
agreed.
Bad fries are terrible, and I will not eat them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bad tots,
I'm still gonna eat it.
Still edible.
Yes.
It is really hard to fuck. It's harder to fuck up tots than it is to fuck up fries.
I agree.
I'm good with that.
So I'm of the opinion that I will always get, if tots is an option, I'm gonna go with tots.
Ooh.
I think
if
tots
it's
are the
new,
superior potato.
as like a safety picture. Is that what you mean? Like if it's a new spot, you're unsure.
Mostly because I feel like if you're doing tots on the menu, you have them
for a reason.
Ooh, it's got to be because they are not only like,
okay. So it's my fault if I come to a restaurant, I see the option of one or the other, and I choose fries, because I should know that I'm given the option of tots, and they're basically saying, yo,
tots are just so
they're
tots
safe.
are
Tots are safe.
Tots are safe and forgiving.
Yes, that's fair.
Whereas fries are able to be more disappointing. So if you have the option on the menu of both, I'm gonna go tots normally just because I love that. Okay. If you swear to me that the fries are better than the tots, it better be life-changing. I better walk away from the experience being like, I don't know when I'm gonna find fries like this again. But I like it. I like the
I
I
don't.
like that.
I don't know what the statement was that we could all agree upon. By the way.
Yeah, I don't either after talking
Okay.
about it. So really what we're trying to say is that the NFL overtime rules are the worst overtime rules.
Okay. There we go.
That's really what I'm trying to say.
The worst overtime rules.
The worst rules.
The worst. There is no other overtime.
The worst.
I can't think of
The worst.
another one that is worse. So, but I would say there are probably people who enjoy it because they're masochists and
That's fine. You can like something that's the worst and still doesn't mean
but
the others are better. I'm not saying necessarily unenjoyable. I'm saying if you rack and stack the best overtime systems, it is the worst. To include golf.
include golf.
To include golf. The golf, I don't even know how to phrase it. Playoff, sudden death, however they phrase it in golf, still better than.
That's fair. I would have to do some definitive research, and maybe that's the thing. Is like as a topic later. Is there a playoff system or a overtime system worse than the NFL?
Like I'm gonna Google cricket overtime real quick and just see.
Does anybody really know how cricket works? Come on.
I don't. I even have a buddy whose dad was from England, and that's all I. That's all I.
We need to
was
do
like,
an
"How does
episode
cricket work?"
just on figuring out how cricket works.
Yep. I'm okay. I'm okay with putting up NFL overtime rules are the worst. Anyone else have anything?
I mean, I have some simple ones, but I'm on the cusp of making one better.
Well, you saw my first one strike out. So
I got one.
I
got one. I got one. Lemonade is never great. It could be good. You could have good lemonade. You could have solid lemonade. You could have bad lemonade. You can have a super spectrum of lemonade. You've never had like life-changing lemonade. You've never had great lemonade.
Huh.
I'm actually really thinking about this. This
right.
is
My initial response is the challenge.
I want to challenge.
Yep.
And I'll go first on the rebuttal for this. So my initial, I feel like the only what I would consider adequate and fantastic lemonade would be Chick-fil-A. That's kind of my baseline.
That's where I first went too.
Yeah, that's my baseline for real good lemonade.
But yeah,
is it great? Is it like
it's what I go to for them because I feel like they're known for it. But at the end of the day, am I satisfied when I drink it? I don't think
I would say more than satisfied.
I have
satisfied is like satisfactory. It's not exceed satisfaction.
I have never had a McDonald's Coke experience when drinking lemonade.
Correct.
So yes, there are versions of fast food Coke that I'm like have to have here. McDonald's and Crystal stand out in my mind. The other ones I'm just like, it's a Coke. And I've never like I sometimes I would be in the mood for lemonade.
Sure. You can have
it will scratch
good.
it will scratch the itch, but I have never said, damn, this lemonade. And
there are times where I think you can I don't want to say it's circumstantial, but like the old adage of like I'm mowing the lawn and my wife brings out a lemonade and this hits the spot. But even then it's just like it hits the spot, it scratches the itch, it's refreshing. It's what I kind of needed.
Can we be real? If you bring me out a lemonade while I'm doing yard work, fuck you.
Unless it's the Happy Gilmore where she comes out in like the lingerie with the tray.
Right.
Like, that's
hold on. But that's different. I'm just glad you're for the presentation. I'm still a little upset by the drink of choice, but yeah,
I'm just not going to yell at you about it.
maybe there's vodka.
I'd be like, this
maybe it's a vodka
lingerie
lemonade.
wearing bitch didn't bring me beer. She brought me lemonade. All right, it's fine. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a lemonade shot.
That's a slow burn right there.
Yep.
That's
I cannot say that I came up with that on my own. I read it and I was like, oh, wait a minute. That is so true. Because there were several. I was like, Everyone hates mosquitoes. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah, that's boring.
Fine. Right. I was like, but let me find something that's a little deeper. And lemonade being never
Yeah.
great was it.
I like how you guys both went food because I had a food one also.
I mean, I think that's
I mean, both of you,
65% of what we talk about on this podcast.
I think both of yours are better than mine, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out
I'll
there.
catch it.
Mine was the worst piece of regular bacon, whether it's burnt, flimsy, whatever, is still better than the best piece of turkey bacon.
Yes.
I mean, it can be burnt, it can be flimsy. It's
I don't
still going to
think,
be better than.
and that's how you weed people out of your life. People that say, no, this is better than
Turkey
me.
bacon is better.
Mm,
Don't, Travis. Don't even
Thoughts?
try.
Could you say like you're saying the worst piece of bacon is better than the best piece of
Literally,
turkey bacon?
Travis, it could be charcoal
Yeah.
It could have grass
on a
No.
on
plate,
it. You could
And you
drop
could,
it in the dirt.
and I will put
yes.
it in my mouth, and it will taste better than
That's
the
not
best
true.
prepared turkey. Absolutely,
That is
100% true.
that cannot be
I
true.
I will die on that hill.
I'm not a big like I'll eat things that are a little burnt, sure, but like that
Oh, burnt
burnt taste is
bacon. Oh,
not a
so
thing
good.
that I enjoy, and I
I
would
don't even
much.
like burnt bacon. I like my bacon flimsy,
Me
and
too.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah,
I like the fattiness and being
yes.
able to chew it. But you put that burnt piece of charcoal bacon in my mouth, and I
Mhm.
will suck on it
Over for
for
turkey
the
bacon.
rest
See.
of the day.
I won't
And
eat it.
and we are thinking about this in the way that both of them have been prepared. So I'm not talking about rolling up a raw piece of bacon right out of the fridge. Like
I'll
there
tell you
is a
what,
level of
give me that raw piece of
preparation.
bacon over the turkey bacon. Like,
No, I know, it's edible
Yes,
in the sense that it is cooked,
correct.
and I won't get salmonella from it. I understand that. If you told me there was a burnt piece of meat that was like it just falls apart and you can't even taste bacon anymore, like the worst piece of bacon I've ever had, I'm gonna choose turkey bacon. I'm not saying turkey better is better. Turkey bacon is better than bacon in general, like at reasonable person standard. But like if I'm comparing worst to best, turkey bacon's gonna be better
I can't
because
agree.
at least
For
it's
somebody who
edible.
I used to eat turkey bacon regularly. I had a little stint several years ago where I gave up pork, and
I'm
no,
not I'm not
I'll
saying
throw,
turkey
it's a
bacon is
I'll
no. I
throw,
bad.
mean,
I'm going to throw this out here. While the five of us may agree on that, everyone's not agreeing on that.
Also
I
true.
mean that's fair. Yeah. Oh, my backup was ducks fly together, but you know what? I mean,
Ducks do fly together. I
I
think
would
we can
say
all agree on that.
that is more universally agreed upon than
Drew, what is
Drew.
something you think we can all agree on?
Something we can all agree on: humans need oxygen to live.
Wow. Wow.
I feel like it's kind of incontrovertible. There's evidence to suggest, hold, Travis, hold, that we cannot survive, we cannot breathe, we cannot do anything without oxygen in the air. It is the one thing.
Actually,
You could argue that water and food are also things that we might need, but without oxygen, I think our lifespan is taken down to around
two and a half.
three to
Yeah.
3 to 8 minutes.
so you can live for 3 to 8 minutes without oxygen.
Right. I was going to say, I think you can live. You may not can
But you
thrive.
can't survive.
Ah,
You
wow.
can.
Define survive and define live.
I'm a little disappointed. I was a little disappointed. I was expecting a route. I thought we were about to go full flip table mode, and but okay. And
So you're not
speaking of our next
you're not
topic,
going to define live. Okay, so our I can't do this anymore.
Mhm.
Travis, what are you drinking?
Our
And on today's podcast,
our
Start
submissions
over.
are the NFL overtime rules are the worst overtime rules. Lemonade is never great. Bad bacon is better than turkey bacon, or I will say the best turkey bacon, and humans need oxygen to live. I'm gonna get rid of the humans need oxygen to live because of the four of them,
Fuck you.
that's the only I'll say scientific fact. Everything else is objective, and we're trying to get people to agree on something that's not fact. And so for that reason, while it's
Well,
true,
then I'm gonna
it's already agreed upon. So let's take that one out.
then I'm gonna suggest we get rid of the NFL overtime rules are the worst because that is also fact. If we're removing facts from
You're not completely wrong. That is still subjective. I would say there are probably some people, very small population that disagrees with you.
Ugh.
So of those three, you don't think so? You don't think that?
I don't think anyone is gonna say it is the best.
You didn't say isn't the
No,
best. You
you're
said
right.
is
You're
the
right. You're right.
worst.
Or I don't know. You know what? You've inspired me for a new mission in life. I'm gonna start a Twitter account. What is better?
You won't. Okay, which one, Drew? Which one are you gonna pick
Just
since
don't
you're
know how
out?
to sign up a new account.
I'm going bacon.
Okay.
Ooh.
You okay? I don't love that, but that's fine. I have one word for you. Segue.
Okay.
Anyway, we're gonna
Do
try
I-
a thing
do I
called.
need
I was like, how are you gonna save this? What do you
Do I need to flip?
Yeah,
Do I
I'm
need to
not
flip?
I'm
it
not
over?
saying a word here. You
Damn, you
figure
took
this
you
out.
took my word.
Hey, real quick. You listening? Cool. Do me a favor. On your app, wherever you're listening to this podcast, there's a button to follow or subscribe or some sort of a notification type bell. Whatever you do, don't click them. Don't click those buttons. Don't do it. Or click it. Whatever it doesn't matter. Just fine. It's fine. It's fine. Just click it. It's cool. Just do whatever you want. Preach.
We're gonna try something weird. We each came prepared with one word, and we're basically gonna see how long we can talk about that subject. I think if we said one word, but like if it's an acronym, if it's a like United States of America, that's like one thing. That was the first thing that came in my head. I think that's fine. One thing is probably a better way to put it. Um, so who has a topic they want to throw out and we're just go existential maybe on some of the shit.
I'll start with an obvious one because I'm having a
Yep.
hard time getting creative with this.
Yep.
My
Gets
one
warmed up.
is GIF.
GIF.
Highly controversial. Still angers me to this day when people say it incorrectly and say GIF. And I realize there are big camps on both sides of this, but all you have to do is say GIF, or more often you say GIF,
Oh
and
God.
it causes an uproar a lot of times with people having conversation about it. All you gotta do is say the word, because people are triggered by the other way of saying it, depending on who they are. So it's not necessarily GIF is the controversial or GIF is the controversial. It's both, but it's still spelled the same way. So it's still the same word. It's just how it's said to who, which makes it so controversial.
So I actually had this debate with a colleague of mine, and I'm trying to remember exactly the real argument because he was pro GIF, and I was very upset with him.
Well, so the creator, and I may be saying this wrong, so if you guys know, correct me, but I'm pretty sure the creator of it says it's pronounced GIF.
That is the internet lore, yes.
Yes. However, it doesn't make any sense because it doesn't follow the style of a regular G plus vowel in the English language. So well, while he says that, he wrote it wrong. Like it doesn't make any sense. It's a lot of times when G gets the J sound, it's followed by a double vowel or there's a few things. So whether the creator says that or not, he didn't spell it that way.
Are you? Well, it's not spelled that way because of it stands for graphic, so you can't say drap.
But correct. It stands for a hard G word.
Correct. But so are you asserting at that point?
But that's I'm not asserting one side or the other. I'm saying GIF is controversial. It's a very controversial word.
Yes. But what is your stance?
That's what I'm asserting.
If you had to pick one, what would you pick?
I mean, I would pick GIF personally but I'm fine with arguments on both sides. It's what makes it so controversial is that there
Mhm.
are big arguments for both sides. But personally, for me, it's GIF because the G stands for graphic. It stands for a hard G word.
Mhm.
And GIF has become its own word. I mean, let's be honest. It's used in everyday language.
My colleagues, this did throw a wrench into most of my arguments, but he basically was saying if you look at the abbreviation for NASA and you try to pronounce each letter phonetically based off of the word that it's based off of, it would be like NASA versus
Mhm.
NASA.
Sure.
And so his point was it's I don't want to say a regional dialect at this point, but it's a pronounce it however you want to pronounce it because there's no set rule for how to pronounce acronyms.
Totally get it.
And I was like, I hate that that makes sense, but it's still GIF. I'm still gonna go like GIF sounds better than GIF, but that's really like if we're taking the pronunciation part out of it because there are no rules for how to pronounce acronyms, then it's just whatever is up to the person that decides it.
Yeah, you're right.
Feel like there's no pronunciation rules, but if we're just looking at it from a like letter perspective, and if you had presented that to me as a word that existed in the English language, I'm gonna side with GIF more than I side with GIF, just because the G sound is a more common
Let's look it up.
pronunciation of that letter.
Anyway, I think GIF's been beaten into the ground. Other one-word topics. I've got a list here. Which one would be more fun? I'm gonna go identity.
Okay.
Hmm.
Don't like that one? Okay, let's go.
Try a different one.
I just don't know
I know what it
where to
is.
go with that.
I've got identity, hero, waffles.
Ooh, hero. That's
But I mean,
interesting.
Let's talk about waffles.
Yeah, waffle.
waffles.
Because are you waffling? Or is you talking about the
I
food?
was just about to go
You
there.
know,
I
like
was
Hey,
just about to go there.
if I step on a pancake and it gets all like the little insertions
no,
of like all the bottom of my
no, it
shoe,
doesn't.
Oh
does
wait,
it
Not a
become a
waffle.
waffle?
yeah. So hero waffles or tacos. Again, all food stuff. That's all I talk about. Or
I'll,
segues. I
I'll
do a
fight
segue.
somebody on tacos.
Let's do tacos. Let's fight. Let's fight. What's the best?
Hard hard stance on tacos.
Oh,
You have to order more than one type of taco. Like it has to be
if they allow
a,
that.
yeah, it has to be an a
Okay.
la carte. Doesn't matter what the type is, you got to try some new things because I like street tacos are the best. And I'm a hard stance on corn tortillas as long as they are freshly made.
I like your starting points. So I agree with the try more than one, except for in the instance where if you get the group of three and it's the same one, and three of the group of the same thing is cheaper than three individual ones. Because there's a Mexican restaurant around the corner that I do that. It's $12.50 for three. If I do three individualized, it becomes
$18.
13 something. It's not like significantly cheaper, but it's still cheaper.
Okay.
And agree with the corn. I'm a big fan of the corn over flour personally. And I have the stance. I'll take it a step further. I'm the stance of the worst corn tortilla is better than the flour tortilla. To circle back to the bacon turkey.
No, no.
I'm not trying to push that as a rule.
Yeah, I do. No, and I understand. There are really, really good corn tortillas, and I would probably say the best corn tortilla is better than the best flour tortilla. But for a like consistency standpoint,
Ooh, I would say even consistently, corn tortillas are better than flour.
I usually don't have a good corn tortilla experience.
I would take it back to the fries versus tots, where the middling best flour tortilla is better than the worst corn tortilla, but the best corn tortilla is by
Yes.
far and
Yes,
away
I agree with that.
a better
Like if you tell
option.
me
Yes.
get the corn tortillas, I'll get the corn tortillas.
Yeah,
But
that's the
like,
tot version of this is what you need to get. Yeah.
yeah. But I would
So
get
like when
tots
I'm
no matter
when
what.
I'm making Mexican food at home, I generally go with flour tortillas
Agreed. It's easier,
because they're
safer.
easier and quality is just more consistent,
Yep.
and I don't have a good local. I'm gonna go there.
You don't
and
have a
get
masa dealer?
or I don't. I have tried to make tortillas before and just failed spectacularly.
I have an angry point about tacos that pissed me off a few months ago. I went to a Mexican restaurant and they had open face tacos on the menu. And I don't know why it annoyed me slightly, slight annoy, but it got delivered on a platter with the tortilla flat and all the stuff just piled high on it. So I actually had to work to like make it all fit, to roll it up, or to, like it didn't get presented as a taco. It was just a tortilla flat and then all the shit on it. I was slightly
Isn't that
They
how
annoyed.
you?
would
Isn't
they
that how you
did
mostly
advert
get
No, but
tacos
I
nowadays?
wanted it delivered in like the little like section
the
things
C shape.
or like or three, put into a bowl so they're all lined up or wrapped as a like a soft taco. But no, it was just like it was lazy. I was
They
angry.
Go to
did
some
advertise it as
fancy
open face
restaurant.
though.
Yeah, no, they did not. It was not on the menu. It was
Oh,
open
I thought you
face.
said you got open face tacos. So
I
I
got
I
assumed
open
want
face
that.
tacos when I
Okay.
ordered tacos. I
I
ordered
want to know
tacos and
where
they
you
came out.
go.
It was like a nice Mexican restaurant.
No, but still, I want to know where you go normally that your expectation is something in a V. Like, A, if I
Yeah,
order
the
tacos,
little
I'm never expecting it in that ever. Like, if you want to,
yeah,
like,
I don't know what
my
they're called, the little
expectation,
V things,
no, I know what you're
the
talking about. I
taco
don't know.
holders. Yeah, I don't know what they're
Yeah, I don't know
called.
what to call it,
Yeah,
but I know what you're talking about. I've never gone expecting to receive that. Like, that is bougie.
bougie. I'll be bougie about my tacos.
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
I just, that's the, I don't know.
I
Usually,
think that's a good way to put it though. So if you're at a bougie place, I might expect the bougie taco holder. If I'm at a street taco vendor, I'm getting it in the little paper thing. It's kind of like half open face. Maybe it's leaning up against another
but
one, so they're like half closed. And I
uh,
just got to do it myself.
but they
And
were
so,
constructed. Even
no, not
at
even.
like a taco streetcar, you put them in the little thing, and they're constructed as like as like a taco.
no,
But this place just looked like it was tortilla flat. Throw the
yeah,
shit on it, and that was it.
That's my normal taco experience, I guess, is what
Yeah.
confuses me.
right.
Like, it's just an open taco flat on a plate.
Yeah, but I could barely close the taco, and I mean, yes, there were a lot of innards and fillings, and it was great. I mean, and it tasted fine, but like I could barely make a taco out of it. Like I had to eat it with a fork. Like this is not a taco.
Hmm.
Now I
Hmm.
could have scraped some of it off and then made a taco.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was like I
I don't
said, it was a
I don't
small
have an
bother. It didn't
opinion.
ruin my night. The food was good, but
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah. I
like,
get what
hey,
you're saying.
yeah.
Do you guys think that a good taco is an overflowing taco?
Ooh, I don't.
See, I don't. Yeah,
I
no.
think we talked about this a little bit
We did a
before.
I
little.
think a good burrito is an overflowing burrito.
When that kind of like
Give me
busts at
a
the
giant
seams a
fat
little bit.
burrito with
Yeah,
everything in it.
but taco, and not to nitpick what overflowing means, but to Ben's point, I expect to reasonably be able to close my taco, and then obviously
Define
depending
close.
U shape,
U-shape.
not
The
Okay.
ratio.
Yeah.
and then
U-shape.
Yeah, it's all about
yeah, not a
ratio.
wrap. I expect U shape.
Okay.
And then like if it maybe I'm just a bad eater. Like if I take a bite and it falls out, no harm, no foul. Like to me, that's a user error.
Okay.
But I expect a U shape minimum, and like not a cumbersome U shape. Like I expect to be able to U shape, nothing fall out, and then once I start biting it, if stuff falls out, fine.
You don't want it to be all like a little shallow box where it's like tiny little corners, but it's like flat and or
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, yeah. I think I meant more the user error thing. Like there's enough in it to where user error is expected, if that
Yes.
makes sense. Like
I
that
guess
to
to
me
your
is
point,
a good taco means there's just a little bit extra where I'm expecting a little bit to fall out.
Yeah,
I
a
I
little.
I would be disappointed if I took a bite and nothing ever fell out. I
Right.
guess if that's the point you're driving at. Like if
Yeah.
nothing ever comes out, then I feel
Like when
like
you
I'm
get
eating a Subway
the two
sandwich.
like when you get shrimp tacos and there's like two shrimp.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I want that third one that's just like a little too big that happens to fall out at the like after I take the first bite and then I get a little piece of shrimp
That's
afterwards. That's a good taco to me.
Yeah. Because
that's
I
bonus.
Bonus
Like
It's like
shrimp.
it's almost like
it's like a
the
taco
bagglers.
bagler. Yes.
Yes.
It's the bag.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you. It's the
I
bagglers of
You pick it up with
tacos.
your fingers right before the last bite. Yeah.
Yeah.
right. And I
Okay.
expect Danny's playing Halo. I expect to use a chip to scoop up my taco leftovers.
I like to get an extra tortilla on the bottom, and then
And that's
after all of the leftovers, you have another taco.
Yeah, however you want to do it. I expect, I guess, to the point after I'm assuming 3 tacos, that I have a little bit of a nacho situation that I can
Yes.
dip and clean up.
Yes. We're gonna get
Oh, Drew's doing the Halo
We're
song.
gonna get-
It took me a
I
minute.
started
I was
it.
like, what's he doing?
Yeah, we're gonna get demonetized by Ubisoft. All right, well, so that's tacos. We've done tacos and gifts. What other one words are we doing?
I was curious to see how controversial this would be because it's controversial in my mind.
Waffles.
Extra.
Gum.
Extra is my word I'm proposing.
I think it's overused. I think that
I think you're being extra right now, Travis.
I am being extra right now. And that's the point of this. That's the point of this. Is I think that it's been added as a label to someone who is being slightly more than middle of the road.
You see, but I'm glad that's your first instinct because when I hear extra, what flashes my mind is someone's about to tell me guacamole is extra. And
Like extra price.
And I'm like,
I was going existential.
Right, no, and that's fine. And I was hoping someone would go there,
opposed to
because I throw that around a lot in that sense.
I like it to be fun in that sense. Like if you're just doing it, I'm moving my head so the camera unfreezes for me. But I think most of the time when people use extra,
correct,
it's a little exaggerated, and they're not actually being extra. There are times where it's appropriate.
I would like to think I'm the authority on extra.
I know you would.
I label you as extra. You are in fact extra.
That's because you are extra.
I'm a bit extra, and that's why I should be able to. If you're more extra than me,
well, you said a bit extra. That's not full blown extra, and I
correct.
think that's what I'm trying to say is if you're being a bit extra, that's
it's not extra, right?
Right, and I think most people just say extra and they mean a bit extra.
No, I agree, and that's why I think I'm the
overused.
perfect authority because
You're a bit extra.
I'm right there at the line, but not.
I mean, Rick, good word. It's controversial to me because I think it's a cop out. You call somebody extra, but you really want to call them a bitch. You call somebody extra, but you really want to say,
"Ooh, okay.
Well, that guy just fucking
bless your heart.
took my job, or you're a fucking Karen, or you're a piece of shit." But you're trying to be PC or whatever it is. So you say, "Oh, that person's a little extra." That's not what you really want to say. It's a cop out. It's the right thing to say.
I do think it gets overused, but I do think there is an appropriate time to do that. Like if someone is literally going above and beyond what they really should be doing, they're being extra. That's what it means. It's being
like,
extra.
Try hard is a
try hard is
substitute.
An extra.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't like that because I feel like
Forcing
try hard
something is someone being extra.
But if they're being extra in a positive way, then you say they're
not necessarily.
You're a good employee, or they're.
But to me, and I'll let Drew go next. Like I think try hard, extra, spotlighting are all in a negative sense, specifically.
Yes.
Like there is a like
I don't have
you can
negative...
do extra for people in a good way, like you're saying, Ben, but no one's gonna call you extra in that sense. Like it has to be a negative way. Go, Drew.
I don't have a necessarily negative connotation for extra, whereas like try hard or brown nose or something like that,
Extra cheese.
has that where extra could be a description of your personality type of like you're just exuberant and like you maybe
Good word.
people
Both have X.
it's just a little bit more to deal with on especially as me as an introvert, a little bit more of a
So are they extra or are they just extroverted?
They're not, but people aren't calling people extra because they're more. They're saying extra because they don't want to say things like annoying
That's not
or
true though. That's not
Yeah, that's not
always
true.
true.
I think that's what
I don't necessarily think that.
I think that there is a case, Ben, where that is true for sure. I think that's maybe 30 to 50% of the time, but I think the other 50 to 70% of the time people are saying you're being extra because you're actually doing too much. And that could be usually in the negative way, but it is like either trying too hard in a negative way, brown nosing, etc., or it's like you're overreacting to something is also being extra. So
but they're
like
both
Or
negative.
you're
yeah,
trying to
but
get a
being extra is
reaction.
usually negative.
I mean, I would go 100% when somebody says you're extra is negative.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the defining line here is, to me, extra is the word I want to use, and it is saying what I mean it to say. Like if I want to call you a bitch, I'm calling you a bitch. And that's a different section. Like extra and bitch are not a Venn diagram.
Mhm.
You're either extra or bitch. You can
You
be
have called me a bitch
a
before.
bitch while being extra, but to me those are two distinctly different things.
But can extra be used more often as like the PC or the HR friendly version of a
Maybe
word
by
you can't
you,
say? No, I'm
but
just saying in general,
I would
like at
say no.
work.
I would say no because you're not
Like, can you call somebody
like
extra at work when you can't call them something else?
no, because at work you'll say something else. Like you're not, if you want to call them a bitch at work, like you're not going to say extra. You're going to say, I really need you to buy in. I need you to take a better mindset. You're going to take something like that.
Rick is totally a manager.
Is what you're going to say.
Rick,
Like when you say extra, it's that to me it's different, and there's a couple more HR buzzwords I would use.
Rick or Ben, there's also a difference between a try hard and trying hard.
see, and I've never
Yes.
heard of this try hard thing. Like, that's a new phrase
A
for me.
try hard is
You've never heard try hard?
And I've been inundated in
It's
HR for the last 2 years, and
it's a
I've never heard
brown
try hard.
noser. It's a try because it's not usually
Is
an
it
HR.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
So
it's like a
think of a
social
group.
media thing or something.
No, think of a group project or someone at work.
No, I sorry, I understand what it means. I've never heard it as a term, but I totally get what it means, 100%.
Well, I guess you've never been a slacker like I have, and because
Not
to
true,
me,
not true.
so let me phrase it this way: this is what a try hard is. And however, I had a moment with my Uncle Jim at Thanksgiving. There was
Classic
no
Uncle
Thanksgiving.
Jim.
Hi,
There was
Jim.
no Thanksgiving
What's up,
talk.
Uncle
Jim?
Jim.
And
We all have an Uncle Jim.
And as a
R.I.P.
joke, I don't remember exactly how it started, but as a joke, I said, "Why soar with eagles when you can glide with turkeys?" And my uncle sat me down and was like, "Rick," and like this rocked his world. And he sat me down. He was like, "There's enough turkeys in the world. I need you to be the best eagle you can be." And I was like, "What the hell is happening right now?" Like, it's a funny phrase. Like, let's move on with life. But in that sense, where and basically once you learn like the expectations management kind of thing, because if you are always at the top and you dip, people are like, oh, they fit, they're slacking off or whatever. But if you're medium of the road and every once in a while
Bar's real low, everything's a success.
That's right. That's right. So to me, the try hard is the person who always like everything needs to be perfect, overachiever kind of thing.
It's the person who complained about getting a 98 on a test and has right, like you're like, oh my god,
Like you got an A.
Like, shut up.
Right.
You're fine.
I should have got a 96 when I got a 94.
I got a 98 on my project in 6th grade. It's like grades don't count right now. It's a middle school.
Right.
Like,
that.
That's a try hard.
Is Hermione classified as a tryhard?
Yes.
Yes.
Hundo P.
So extra turned out great.
That's
Drew.
That was
Drew,
great. That was solid. Yeah.
I would say that was everyone got a little bit of extra content on that one.
Heyo.
Got a
no.
little bit.
No, goodbye. I'm signing
Hey-o.
off.
A little bit Alexis.
Drew, what you got? One word.
This may not be as controversial, but
Make it controversial. Let's go.
I feel like we all have used this term before, and I don't know if there's a global consensus of what it should actually be. Caddy corner.
Ooh.
Huh?
Okay.
Caddy corner, kitty corner, catty corner, but something that's
Yep.
across, but kind of like diagonal
Oh.
from you.
Hmm.
And I've heard it a lot of different ways. But what is the correct term for something that is across but also diagonal from you? Say you're on a street corner, it's a four-way stop. What is the opposite side of the road but also diagonal?
What if it's
I
a
don't think I've used that word in probably 20 years.
what if it's a three-way stop?
I
But
don't think
there
that's not the point
no.
of the
Oh,
exercise.
no. No, but what if it's a three-way stop and there's something across that's catty cornered, but there's not extra road there? So is it catty cornered if there's not extra road there? You see what I'm saying? Like,
No.
Do you have a chalkboard? Can you
I do.
Do I need to draw a diagram?
draw that out for me?
so what's the controversial part of catty corner?
Well, I think to
I'm
me,
in. I mean,
I think to me, it's the.
teach
Do
me.
you have a term that you ascribe to that position?
My controversial stance is I think it's generally used too loosely, and it's a specific corner, like it has to be the four-way stop. It has to be truly across and diagonal at a 45, maybe not necessarily at that exact azimuth, but that to me, that is the controversy where someone back gets catty corner, and then I'll go to the Ben's three-way stop, and I'm like, there's nothing catty corner here. What's going on?
But there's just a road missing.
No, you see, but that's my point. It's not, because that is the controversy to me. People get loose and just like to use the term when it's, to me,
Right.
it's a specific. If you say catty corner, I'm immediately looking at this spot, and if it's not there, I'm like, why would you call it that?
According to, again, quick Google search, caddy comes from cater, which comes from the French quatre, which is four. So it is supposed to be at a four-way stop in terms of diagonally.
Diagonal.
How it gets from, I think this is mid-19th century. It was cater cornered, which turned into potentially catty cornered or kitty cornered. I just don't know how it evolved from cater to caddy to kitty. That's my only thing. But yeah, four-way stop. So Ben, you're a three-way stop. If someone says catty corner, they're just wrong. There is no catty corner in a three-way stop.
I have issues with that.
That would be
Anyway,
Tritty corner,
Tritty
tri corner, tricorn.
Twatty
And
corner.
why is it caddy? I mean, a caddy is just a guy that carries your golf clubs. Like, why is it caddy?
That's also one of the spellings, but
Caddy,
it comes from
caddy
the
comes from
quatra.
Well, that's why it's caddy corner, because traditionally the caddy stands at a 45 to your left or right.
for sure.
We all know that cats love.
But wouldn't be
four-way
catty
stop.
corner be 180 degrees?
All cats have four paws. And caddies usually suggest a 4-iron. I don't know.
And speaking of a good cabinet,
Cabinets? Is that what we're doing? Cabinets? I made good cabinets. Guys, our last topic this evening.
Thank God.
This was another long one, so I'm going to break it up into 2 episodes. Be sure to tune in next week, where we talk about the Bar Banter cabinet positions. You can find us on all the socials at @the_Bar Banter, or now on Blue Sky at, let me look it up. It is, I think it's just the Bar Banter. Let me make sure. Yeah, the Bar Banter on Blue Sky. New episodes every Wednesday. There's a link in the description to contribute to Rick's grassroots campaign. And just remember, this is our podcast, and you're just along for the ride. Okay, bye.